Okay. Good evening, students. I welcome you all to our second lecture of the GST revision series. Today, and the previous topic, what we did the topic of audit, then anti-profit, advanced ruling, such kind of topics we covered. Now, today, as per the request from few students, we are going to cover input tax credit. It is useful for inter as well as final, but final it is very useful. So for CMA final student, first I will explain you the basics of ITC, the block credit, etc. And then we will understand Rule 42 of the CGST rule. The lecture normally is of 1 hour, but I requested Institute to allow me till 6:15 or 6:30. So if time permits, I will also touch upon capital goods, etc. Clear? So without wasting any time, let us begin today's topic. Input tax credit. Chalo. See, first let us understand what is basic understanding. What do you mean by input tax credit in GST? Just basic understanding. Say, for example, I'm a manufacturer or a trader or a recipient. What I'm doing, from various suppliers, I have purchased raw material for 10 lakh and I paid GST of 1,80,000. Okay, so I purchased this raw material. I paid 10 lakh rupees and I paid GST of 1,80,000. Correct. From various other supplier, I availed services, say 2 lakh rupees, and I paid GST of 36,000. From various other supplier, I purchased capital goods, 40 lakh rupees, and I paid GST of 4,80,000 rupees. So as a purchaser, I have paid how much to the supplier? 52 lakh rupees. Correct. And I have also paid GST of 6,96,000. Now this GST which I pay to the supplier shall pay to the government. Correct. So indirectly, various suppliers, I have paid GST of 6,96,000. Alag suppliers have already paid to the government 6,96,000 GST. Fair? Now through this, I manufacture finished goods, say 1 crore rupees. And now I'm selling this finished good for 4 plus 18 lakh GST to this end user. Okay, so say I'm selling this finished goods. I'm going to collect 1 crore my money, and I've also collected 18 lakh rupees GST. Now my query to go, whatever GST I've collected, will I pay in entirety? See, my GST liability, whatever I've collected is my liability. I have to pay to the government. Will I pay entirely 18 lakh? No, sir. I agree that I've collected 18 lakh, but to earn this GST of 18 lakh, already paid GST on raw material, services, capital goods of 6,96,000. What I will get of this? Input tax credit. Milega, sir, input tax credit. So I've collected 18 lakh. I've already paid 6,96,000. So I will pay balance of only 11 lakh 4,000 to the government. Clear? So I will pay only 11 lakh 4,000 to the government. So this is the basic understanding of ITC. That whatever GST are paid on purchases, services, capital goods, you get benefit of it. And that benefit is known as input tax credit. Clear? Now, there are few conditions. Section 16(2) of the CGST Act. Eligibility and conditions for claiming ITC. What are the conditions when the taxpayer can avail ITC? See this. Section 16(2) you need to refer it. Eligibility and condition to claim ITC. Suppose I'm a supplier. Okay, sorry, you all are supplier. I'm a buyer, recipient. You all are suppliers. I'm a buyer, recipient. Correct. When can I take ITC? Kab le sakta hu main? Listen first. First condition, whosoever wants input tax credit, he or she must be registered in GST Act. He should have GST number, this kind of number. If I don't have GST number, whatever GST I pay, I cannot take ITC. First condition. Second condition. Second is what? The recipient is in possession of tax paying document. If I want ITC, what is the proof? There has to be some proof. Proof is what? Tax invoice. Invoice, that is a proof that I bought. A debit note. If I import it, then bill of entry. Some kind of proof is required. Correct. Recipient should be in the possession of tax paying document. See this. If you have sold, you have to give me invoice, debit note, something, right? Third condition. the recipient should have actually received the goods or services. Very, very important. When can I take the ITC? When I've actually received the goods or services. Then only I can take the. So see, the supplier, he has supplied goods on which date? 29 June, Jan. But when did I receive, 2nd of Feb. When can I take the ITC? 2nd of Feb. Okay, so unless and until the recipient received the goods, recipient cannot take ITC. Clear? Fourth condition. Fourth is very, very important. Recipient must have furnished a return under section 39. Means if I want to take ITC, then I have to furnish one GST return. The name is GSTR3D. This return I am required to furnish. Then only I can take the ITC. Yes, I can. So there is one return which the recipient is required to file. Now, fifth condition, listen. What is the fifth condition? See, it is difficult to digest. What it is saying, the supplier should have paid GST to the government. Again, I will repeat. What is the condition? The supplier must have paid GST to the government. Then only recipient can take ITC. Nahi samjha? Listen carefully. Say goods to me. I paid GST to you. I have done my part. But unless you pay this GST to the government, sir, I cannot take the ITC. What nonsense, but this is the fact. I repeat. Say you sold goods to me. I want ITC. I paid GST to you. You are required to pay GST to government. Unless you pay GST to government, the recipient cannot take the ITC. So what is this condition? The recipient is left at the mercy of the supplier. If supplier don't pay, the recipient cannot claim the ITC. This is very difficult to digest, but it is there. And final condition is the goods or service which I have purchased, it must be used in course of business or furtherance of the business. It must be used in course of business or furtherance of business. Then only I can take the ITC. If I install AC at my home for my personal use, I cannot take the ITC. It should be for business use. Yes, so all the condition if satisfied, then only the recipient can take ITC, else not. Else नहीं ले सकता. ठीक है? See FAQ1. Suppose I am a supplier, I am a recipient. Now you supplied goods on 30th April. You removed the truck. You supplied the goods on 30th April. It is on the way. When did I receive the goods? 5th of May. I received the goods on 5th May. I will start using the goods from 5th May. Correct. My query. Can I take as a recipient? Can I avail ITC in April when you supplied the goods? See, when you loaded the goods, can I take the ITC in April? Or can I take the ITC in the GST return of May when I actually received this goods? Can I take it in April or May? Very simple answer. Just now we heard the condition. As per section 16(2) of the Cgst Act, recipient can take the ITC only when he has received the goods or when did I receive the goods? I received in May 2020. So even though you had supplied in April, since I received in May, I can take this ITC only in GST return of May 21. Yes, I will take this ITC when? In GST return of May 2000. Chalo, FAQ2. Now listen careful. Again, you people are supplier. I am the recipient. You sold goods of 1 lakh plus 18,000 GST. I paid consideration of 1 lakh to you. I also paid GST of 18,000 to you. So I have paid GST. I have done my part. Now what happened, You all suppliers became bankrupt. Hence, whatever GST I had paid to you, you never paid the GST to government. So whatever GST I paid to the supplier never paid the GST to government. So मिला ही नहीं उसको. Fair enough. Government never received this GST of 18,000. Again, query 2. Bichara recipient. Can this recipient avail ITC of the GST of 18,000? Recipient has correctly paid the GST to the supplier. The supplier has not paid GST to the government. Can I take the ITC? What did we just learn? As per 16(2), recipient can avail ITC only when the supplier shall actually pay GST to the government, either through his electronic ledger or through his electronic credit ledger. So unless supplier pays, recipient cannot take ITC. Clear? So in this case, the recipient, will not be eligible to take ITC. And if I've already taken, my ITC shall be reversed. Clear? So this is the dangerous section. It is like exam I am giving and you all are clearing the exam. It is kind of that provision. Chalo, next important one, section 16.4 of the Cgst. What is this section? Time limit to avail ITC. First we understood the basic condition. Now there is certain time limit within which I am required to claim the ITC. After that, GST will not allow. Say prior to that, I will explain you one portion, annual return. Please listen that. Prior to that, 16.4, please listen to that. Every registered person, every financial year, say financial year 21-22, he is required to file annual return. Every person who has GST number is required to file annual return. Entire year the return also you are required to file. That is known as annual return. When this return is required to be filed, you know, within 9 months from the end of the financial year. Within 9 months from the end of the financial year. So when the financial year is, what is the financial year? 21-22 plus 9 months. So within 31st December 2022. So that this is very important. It is linked to section 16.4. So I repeat, every registered person who has GST number is required to file annual return. By which date? 9 months from the end of the financial year. So financial year 21-22 plus 9. By 31st December, you are required to file this return. Now listen. Back to 16.4. Back to 16.4. Listen. Now say Akshay Kumar is a registered person. He purchased goods or services, say rupee 10 lakh plus 18% GST. During which month? During the month of Feb 2020. So he is a purchaser. Purchased goods of 10 lakh. He paid GST of 1,80,000. In which month? Feb. Now Mr. Rajpal is his accountant. Correct. So he gave the invoice to the accountant to book it in the software and avail this ITC of 1,80,000 in GST return. So this is invoice is given to the accountant to book in Tally to take ITC in GST return of 1,80,000. Now this accountant is lazy. What was he doing? He was watching cricket match. He was watching Sachin Tendulkar batting. So he's saying that we will book later. Aram se karenge. What's the urgency? So he was watching cricket match. So he kept this invoice in the drawer. Like us, lazy. So he kept the invoice in the drawer that we will book it later. What's the hurry? Fair. Now what happened, you know? He forgot. During the month of Feb, he forgot. When did he realize the mistake? After 4 months, he realized that I forgot to book the invoice. Now he's seeking advice whether the 1,80,000 can be availed in GST return of July 21. क्या Feb का invoice ITC, whether you can avail in GST return of July 20, this 1,80,000 is gone. The employer will kill him. Correct? See, listen, the invoice was of Feb. GST, when does he realize the mistake? In July. Can he take it? Can he take this ITC? It is given in section 16.4. Please listen. Or says that ITC of invoice of any particular financial year. Financial year was 2021. May be availed. Feb 21 ka tha na, so financial 21. It may be availed up to due date of filing GST return of September following end of financial year. 6 months from the end of the financial year. So financial year was 2021. Correct. Invoice was of 2021. Then you can take ITC in 2021 plus 6 months. Maximum till the due date of filing GST 3B of September 2020. This date you can avail the ITC till GST 3B of September 26 plus 6 months. Financial year plus 6 months. Financial year plus 6 months you can take. So invoice belonged which date? Feb 20. Financial year 2020. ITC may be availed up to GST 3B of September 20. Place up to. When did he realize the mistake? In July 21. So definitely you can take the ITC. Definitely you can have the ITC. So government said, hence Mr. Rajpal, don't worry. Invoice of Feb 21, you can definitely take the ITC in GST return of July 20. No restriction. Fair enough? Fair enough. See, there are two conditions. Two conditions as per 16.4. Condition 1. Invoice belonging to any particular financial year. Say we are discussing financial year 21-22. You can take the ITC up to due date following 6 months end of the financial year. So financial year 21-22 plus up to 6 months you can take. End of the financial year plus 6 months. So you can take the ITC till the due date of filing GSTR 3B till September 2022. This is the or second condition till the date of filing annual return for the relevant financial year. So what was the financial year 21-22? Till the date of filing annual return for financial year 21-22, which is which dates are 39 months from the end of financial. So 31st December 20, whichever is earlier. So you have to select the condition. Either you can take up to 6 months from the end of the financial year or till the date of filing annual return. Due date is 31st December, but you may file it prior. So till the date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. After that, you cannot avail ITC. Yeah, so this is what, sir? Section 16.4 of the Cgst. Now let us move to 17.5. Very important section. Ineligible input tax credit or blocked ITC. This section we are going. Ineligible ITC or blocked ITC. Very important. This section 17.5, it overrides section 16.2 and 4. Just now what we learned, 17.5 doesn't listen to it. Nothing. It has its own terms. See, what is it? Section 17.5. It overrides, means it surpasses the conditions which are given in section 16.2 as well as section 16.4. That means if all the conditions are satisfied, still you cannot take the ITC. Still legally. So GST paid on raw material, services, capital goods, which are covered in section 17.5, you are not allowed to take ITC. Sir, nahi le pao. Irrespective that it is used for course or furtherance of business. That means if you have used it for a business, still you cannot take ITC, sir. Still nahi le pao. Okay? So 17.5 GST paid not allowed as ITC even though it is used in course of business or furtherance of business. What are the conditions? What are the points? We will do case studies. First, motor car, vessels, aircraft. If I have purchased motor car, vessels, aircraft for my business, I cannot take ITC. Whatever GST I paid, I cannot take ITC. See, motor car includes what thing? Motor car include air bikes, trucks, lorries, tempo, aircraft, ship, helicopter, vessel, everything is included. If I purchase this, whatever GST I paid, sir, I cannot take ITC, even though I'm using it for my business. Yes, there are 5 exceptions where we can take one by one. We shall discuss. Okay, the first condition, say, Airvoice company. You must have realized what example I'm going to give. Now, he was the director of the company. There is a private limited company, Airvoice. Mr. Amir was the director of the company. So obviously, company ka director hai, so company purchased car for office purpose. The company purchased car for office purpose, exclusively for office purpose, exclusively for business purpose. See this. Now, this is the director. Director of the company, correct? He is traveling in this car. This car is purchased for office purpose. They cannot travel on road now. They have to go by some car or every luxury thing. So they are traveling by this car exclusively for office purpose. GST paid is rupees 5 lakh. Whether the company which has paid GST, whether it can avail the ITC of this 5 lakh or no. Can company avail ITC of 5 lakh? Please listen. As per section 17.5. GST paid on purchase of motor car, vessel, aircraft. It is not allowed as ITC. Sir, it is not allowed as ITC. It is irrespective that the motor car was used for business or profession. So, name. One more example. See, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. He purchased a aircraft. Now, we will not travel in car. Exclusively for shooting purpose. That means it is for business or profession. See this. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, he purchased an aircraft. You can see this. This is his aircraft. It is exclusively for which purpose? Shooting purpose, film shooting, etc. That means it is exclusively for office purpose, not for his residence. Exclusively for his office purpose. Clear? It should be allowed as ITC, don't you think? But listen. Come, Mr. Amitabh has paid 35 lakh. Now, whether Mr. Amitabh can avail this ITC of 35 lakh, same answer. Same answer. As per clause 17.5, GST paid on purchase of motor car, vessel, aircraft. Whatever GST is paid, it is allowed as ITC, irrespective whether it is used for his personal purpose or for his business purpose. Now, why it is not? Why it is not allowed? You know why it is not allowed? Because these are all luxury. These are all luxury. No direct nexus with the business. Do you agree or not? See, it should be allowed. I also feel. But since it is kind of covered in luxury, government is not allowing this ITC. That there is no nexus with the business. You are shooting, you're going to shoot for a movie. Why do you want to go in aircraft? Travel in train, travel in car. So it's a kind of luxury. That's why the ITC is not allowed. Okay, but listen, now we will discuss about exceptions. Now we are going to discuss about all the exceptions. See, exception 1. First exception, Mr. Ritik. Okay, he was a dealer of Maruti car. Dealer, sir. So what he is doing? From the company, he is purchasing car. He's paying GST 1,000 rupees and then is selling the car to the customer and is collecting GST. So see this, what he is doing. So now in this case, Mr. Dealer. So car is necessity. He is doing business of purchase and sale of car. Purchase and sale of car. Car is not a luxury. It has direct nexus with the business. Correct. So what is Ritik doing? He is paying GST and is collecting GST on sale. Query comes. Whether GST paid of 50,000 shall be allowed as ITC or not. Now listen. In this case, he was a dealer of vehicle. Vehicle, aircraft, vessel, everything comes. So he shall buy vehicle with the payment of GST. He shall sell vehicle, collect the GST. So car is not a luxury. In this case, purchase of car has direct nexus with the business. Purchase of car has direct nexus with the business. So car is not a luxury. Car is a necessity in this case. So what government says? Exception number 1. If the motor vehicle, vessel are purchased for further supply, means you purchase and sell it. Purchase it, sell it. Purchase or give it on rent, further supply. Then whatever GST you have paid is allowed as ITC. So in this case, as per exception, since Mr. Ritik has taken for further supply, he can avail the ITC. ITC lay by. Yeah, so this is first exception. So see, in this case, car is not luxury. It's doing business of purchase and sale. So ITC must be allowed. Fair enough. Point number 2. Now see this. Who is this? Jante ho na? Mr. Uday Chopra. Say he is running a motor training school. What he is doing, sir? He is running a motor training school. So he's purchasing motorbike, he's paying GST. And then he's teaching motor car. See this. He's purchasing and then he's teaching people how to run motor car, aircraft, vessel, bikes, trucks, anything. Okay, so in this case, he cannot teach online. He needs this, na? He needs a vehicle. So car, do you think it's a luxury? It's a necessity. So again, the same question. Whether the GST paid of 50,000 shall be allowed as ITC. ये जो भी 50,000 GST Mr. Uday has paid, whether allowed as ITC or not. So listen, same thing. Imparting knowledge, in this case, the taxpayer has purchased the car for imparting knowledge, training, etc. Okay, he shall buy vehicle with the payment of GST and then he shall impart training, knowledge. It has direct nexus. Bikes are not luxury in this case. It cannot be taught on Zoom or Gmeet. You have to go and take physical training. So the second exception was wrong. If you purchase vehicle, vessel, aircraft, and you use it for imparting training of driving, flying, etc., whatever GST you have paid of 50,000, it shall be allowed as ITC. Okay, so this is the second exception. Where you pay GST, you shall be allowed ITC. Mil jaye. Correct? Third point. Now see third point. Who is this? On air, Mr. Sunny Deol. What he is doing? He is purchasing, say, truck. He purchased truck. He paid GST of 2 lakh rupees. Paid GST of 2 lakh rupees. Now what he is doing? He is doing transportation of goods. He is doing transportation of goods to the customer. It may be his own goods also. It may be goods of another customer also. So he is engaged in transportation of goods. Getting it? Now, if you travel in truck, is that a luxury? People will say, oh, is this guy is traveling in truck? Very good. Is that a luxury? No, no. So I feel trucks, etc. They are all necessity for business, for goods transportation. So whether the GST paid of 2 lakh shall be allowed as ITC. ये जो भी भर will ITC shall be allowed, same thing. Mr. Taxpayer, Sunny Deol, purchase this goods. Why? He shall buy vehicle with the payment of GST. He shall move maybe own goods or he may move the goods of the customer. It is not a luxury. It is necessity in this case. Okay, so the third exception was wrong. If motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft, they are purchased for the transportation of goods, goods transportation ke liye, then whatever GST paid is allowed as ITC. So you understand the link, why the ITC is allowed. Clear? क्यों ITC allowed है? You please try to understand. And same way for transportation of passenger. Nita bus Volvo. If bus, they are purchasing bus for transportation of passenger, ITC will be allowed. So these are the 4 exceptions. Okay, now we will move to the 5th exception. Say Tata Chemicals Limited. Tata Chemical, very, very important. Tata Chemical Limited, it purchased the bus. It purchased bus, it purchased of 4 lakh rupees. Fair enough. Now in this bus, Tata Chemical employees are traveling from office to residence. From office to residence. So in this case, Tata Chemical is not using bus for transportation of goods. It is not using for transportation of passenger. Employees are not passenger. So now let me know, employees are not passengers or goods. Whether GST paid of 4 lakh by Tata Limited can be availed as ITC. What? Whether GST paid of 4 lakh can be availed as ITC. What has happened? You cannot see the slides. Wait, I will re-upload. You people can now see the slide. If not, then please put it in chat. See this. See this. I will re-upload. See this, please. Sorry for the delay. People are not able to see the slides. I hope now you can see the slide. If not, then please message me. Please put it in the chat if you cannot see the slide, because here it is showing as presenting. Or 1 second. If you cannot see, then I will have to ask Mr. Oh, sorry for the delay. Okay. See now, exception number 5, Tata Chemicals Limited. It purchased a bus. Okay, it paid GST of 4 lakh rupees. Correct, see this. It paid the GST of 4 lakh rupees. Now what happened? In this bus, the employees are getting transported from the office to the residence. The employees are getting transported from office to residence. See this. Okay. Employees are neither passenger nor they are goods. Whether GST paid 4 lakh can be availed as ITC or not. क्या GST का ITC मिलेगा of this 4 lakh? Please listen. With effect from 1st Feb 19. With effect from 1st Feb 19. If motor vehicle, aircraft, vessel are purchased for the transport of not goods, not passenger, but for persons which have approved sitting capacity of greater than 13, which have approved sitting capacity of greater than 13, ITC shall be allowed. This is the 5th exception, which date from 1st Feb 19. So as per exception number 5, if motor vehicle vessels are purchased, which have approved sitting capacity of greater than 13, which is used for transportation of person, ITC shall be allowed. ITC shall be allowed. Clear? Chalo. ITC shall be allowed. Very good. So this was our first point, when normally if you purchase vehicle, aircraft, ITC is not allowed. But in 4-5 cases it is allowed. Where I purchase vehicle, sell vehicle, ITC is allowed. Where I purchase vehicle and impart knowledge, ITC is allowed. Transportation of goods, transportation of passenger, ITC is allowed. And this is the 5th one. Correct. Now let us move to clause B. Let us move to clause B. Chalo. Now clause B. Specified supply of goods or service. Block credit for specified supply of goods or service. If I purchase such goods or service, ITC won't be allowed. Say if I eat in restaurant, whatever GST I pay, ITC is not allowed. If I go for catering, whatever GST, like in my annual general meeting, board meeting, I have to order catering. Whatever GST I pay, this is not allowed. If I take membership for my employees in gym, clubs, whatever GST I pay, ITC is not allowed. If I take renting, hiring, leasing of motor vehicle, vessels, air, ITC is not allowed. मेरे employees के लिए no, ITC is not allowed. If I take my own life insurance, health insurance, or of my employees, whatever GST, this is not allowed. Correct. And if I do plastic surgery or beauty treatment, whatever GST I pay, ITC is absolutely not. See, whatever GST to pay in all the above services, input tax credit shall not be allowed, even though it is used in course of business or furtherance of business. It should have been allowed, but it is not allowed. Okay, so see this next one. Now case study 1, please listen. In relation to this case study 1, Indian Oil. It has organized an annual general meeting. See this, Indian Oil. They don't have annual general meeting in office. They book a hall. They book a big halls and organize annual general meeting. See, their annual general meeting is going on. It's part of business routine. Now, they have arranged catering for the shareholders. Then only shareholder will attend fully. Okay, GST paid is 50,000. No, why are the shareholders? No one is interested in meeting. All the shareholders are just interested in eating, catering. We are also like that, so no problem. Now, query comes. AGM is organized in course of business or furtherance of business. Whether GST paid of 50,000 is allowed as ITC or not, it should be allowed. Catering should be allowed, but what is given in section 17.5? Whatever GST you pay on food and beverages or catering, whatever GST you pay, ITC is not allowed. So in this case, whatever GST you are paid, it is irrespective. Whether it is for your office purpose, personal purpose, input tax credit is not. So ye gaya sir. Such a wrong thing. Now it should be allowed, but ITC is not allowed. Okay, those who couldn't see the PPT, I didn't know that. Really sorry for that, but I feel it is properly recorded. After the session is over around 6:15, you can watch it today, tomorrow, anytime. The PPT will be available. Don't worry. Okay, case study number 2. Mr. Ritik Roshan. He joined gym for health and fitness. कैसे हालत हो गई है? Look how he's looking. So for some movie, for the profession, for the movie war, he joined this gym. After profession, GST paid is 75,000. So he took health and fitness service for business and profession. Correct. Whether GST paid of 75,000 for the health and fitness, is it allowed as ITC? Whether this will be allowed as ITC, listen carefully. Now, technically, joining gym, health, it is part of his profession. ITC should have been allowed, but what is given in the Act? GST paid on health and fitness is blocked. So whatever GST of 75,000 is paid is not allowed as ITC, irrespective whether it is in course of business or furtherance of business. Yeah, but there are few exceptions where you will get the ITC. Let us understand that. Let us understand that. Now this person, say this is a taxpayer. He's running a factory. Okay, and he's also doing some mining business. Say he's running a factory. Has how many workers? 251 workers. And he's also doing some mining business. Mining hota hai na? Where you go deep underground and do some construction work there. Now, do you know there is a rule? There is rule that if workers in the factory, not officers, if workers in the factory are greater than 250, government is compulsory required to give canteen service. Sorry, the employer is compulsory required to give canteen to the factory. It is a rule. It is rule made by government. And if you have more than 250 workers, you must have canteen. Okay, that's why this person have paid GST of 15,000 on canteen, food, etc. And for the safety of women in Delhi state, government has made it compulsory to provide rent a cab. To provide rent a cab at night. So GST is paid on rent a cab, say 1,000 rupees. And for mining business, there is risk of life. So government has made it compulsory, obligatory to provide health insurance and life insurance for workers. Yes, sir, government ne compulsory rakha. The employer was not interested. That's why I paid 60,000. Now, whether ITC shall be allowed for the GST paid on canteen, for the GST paid on rent a cab, for the GST paid on life insurance, can ITC be taken or not? What is your? Can ITC be taken or not? Listen, GST Act just now said you cannot, but here government has made it compulsory. So listen, as per exception to clause B of 75, if such services are obligatory or compulsory by government, yeah, government has made it compulsory, then the employer can avail the ITC. So normal cases, employer cannot take the ITC. But since it is made compulsory, obligatory by government, therefore employer can take this ITC. Mil jayega. So this is exception number 1. If government is made it compulsory on employer, he can take the ITC. Fair enough? Second point. Listen carefully. LLP. It gave contract. Say I'm an LLP. I have given contract to all of you. Okay, for catering. You will give me catering services. Correct. Now you did not know many dishes. So you subcontracted the catering. I give catering for 3 lakh. You gave the catering work of some dishes subcontract to this caterer. Okay. So you raised an invoice of 3 lakh plus 18% on me. And that second caterer raised an invoice of 10,000 plus 18% on you. So there are two invoices. First, you raise an invoice of 3 lakh plus 18% on me. Second caterer raised an invoice of 10,000 plus 18% on you. Now the query comes. Whether you, Mr. A, can avail the ITC, caterer to caterer, can you avail the ITC? Okay. So whatever GST you have paid of 1800, can you avail the ITC? Second question. Whether LLP, whatever invoice you have raised on me, whether I, LLP, can avail the ITC of 54,000 or not. So there are two questions. First, the taxpayer which has raised invoice on you, both caterer, can you avail the ITC? And second, caterer to LLP, can I avail the ITC? Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Solution. GST, which you are required to pay on food, beverage, etc., it is blocked. Correct. Hence, whatever GST is paid by me, LLP to the caterer, it is not allowed. Whatever GST of 54,000 I pay, it is not allowed as ITC. But listen to the second point. But you and that caterer, you both are caterer. You are also caterer, and that subcontractor is also caterer. Correct. You both are in same line of business. You both are in same line of business. Hence, as per exception 2. Whatever GST you have paid, that 1800 shall be allowed as ITC. That shall be allowed as ITC. Okay, so what is the conclusion coming out here, sir? What is the conclusion coming out here, sir? That if supplier and recipient both are in same line of business, ITC is allowed. आप भी caterer हो, वो भी caterer है. Same line of business, you can take the rights. Clear? What exception number 2? Only 2 exceptions are there. Now let us move to the difficult point. Works contract service. Clause C of 17.5. Very, very important one. Clause C of 17.5. Block rate. Works contract service. Listen, what do you mean by works contract? Works contract means a combination of goods like bricks, cement, etc., stones, and a combination of services like labor, architect, engineer. And the final output is what, sir? Immovable property like building, shopping mall, godown, factory, warehouse, etc. This is known as works contract. First, to understand the meaning of work contract. So say you have given work to me to construct a factory. I will get the materials, I will get the labor, everything I will do. Everything I will do. And I will construct what? Factory, immovable property. That is known as works contract services, immovable property. Clear? Now listen, as per clause C of 17.5, GST paid for availing, receiving, taking works contract services for the construction of immovable property other than plant and machinery, that is also blocked. So whatever GST you pay for the works contract services, sir, that is also blocked. वो भी नहीं मिलता. Irrespective that this works contract service are used in course of business or furtherance of business. Recipient, if it should have capitalized this expense in books of account. So this is really nonsense. Like if I want to construct my office building, I'm a chartered accountant, cost accountant. So I want my office building. Where will I work? I cannot sit on the road. I need an office to. So I give you contract to construct office. Isn't it for my business? But whatever GST I cannot avail it. Such a nonsense point. 17.5 clause. This is highly debated in many high courts. but currently no outcome is there. So currently it is blocked. Okay, so GST paid for the availing means taking works, contract, services for factory, office, shopping mall, whatever GST I pay, I cannot avail ITCs. Let us understand through case study. Say I am a receiver. I gave you works, contract, services for construction of my office building. I'm a cost accountant, chartered accountants, and need office building. Correct. Works, contract, services you are providing me for business purpose. I cannot sit up with umbrella. I need office. Now what happened? You have supplied works, contract, service to me. You raised tax invoice on me, say of net amount 1 crore, and you charge GST of 12 lakh. Okay, you raised an invoice of 1 crore and you charge GST of 12 lakh. See this. This is the invoice. I paid GST of 12 lakh. Now I have capitalized 1 crore in my fixed asset. Capitalized this, sir. Obviously, you have constructed building, so it is a capital asset. So ye jo 1 crore tha, excluding GST, my balance sheet, I'm going to take depreciation. With the works, contract, service which I avail, can I take the ITC of this 12 lakh or not? Can I take this ITC of 12 lakh or not? Please listen. As works, contract are for business. As per 17.5 clause C, GST paid for availing the works, contract, services for the construction of immovable property to the extent of capitalization is blocked. Whatever GST are paid, it is irrespective. I cannot take the ITC. So जो भी मैंने आपको GST पे किया of 12 lakh, whatever GST of 12 lakh I have paid, I will not be allowed ITC. Such a wrong section. कितना गलत है? But I will not be allowed as ITC. Okay, so see, understand the fact. If you avail works, contract, service, you whatever GST are paid, you cannot take ITC. Yeah, there are few exceptions which we will discuss. Second, I am a receiver. Again, I awarded you works contract for what? For repairing of office building. This time it's just my existing building, you are repairing it. You are repairing it for my business. Now you supplied works contract service. You raised an invoice of me on 10 lakh plus GST of 1 lakh 8. This time there is no need. It is a repairing. Correct. See this. This is an invoice. Now the benefit, you have constructed it very well, repaired it very well. So this 10 lakh, I'm capitalizing in my books of account. This 10 lakh rupees, I'm capitalizing in my books of account. Now the thing comes. This time there is no new construction. You're just repairing the existing. Whether the ITC of GST paid of 1 lakh 80 as works contract repairing are in course of business or in furtherance of business. Can I avail this? Please listen. As per 17.5, GST paid for availing works contract services for the construction of immovable property to the extent of capitalization is blocked. Correct? This is blocked. Now, what do you mean by construction? The word construction doesn't mean new construction. It includes reconstruction, include renovation, it includes alteration, it includes addition, it includes fitting out, includes repairs also. So just by understand, just construction word doesn't mean naya construction. It could also be repair. To the extent of capitalization is blocked. Have I capitalized or not 10 lakh? Yes, I have capitalized. Right? Therefore, see, I have already capitalized this 10 lakh. Therefore, I cannot take the ITC of 1 lakh 80,000. I shall not be allowed ITC. Yes, so just please understand the fact construction doesn't mean only new construction. It could be repairing, addition, alteration, anything is possible. Fair enough? Okay, chalo, next point. Please listen now. Say I'm a receiver. I give work contract of 1 crore. I paid GST of 12 lakh on it. Agreed. You are going to construct building for me, but now you are very busy. So you subcontract certain work, say net amount 20 lakh, GST of 2 lakh 40 to another contractor. So again, the same thing has happened. I gave you contract, works contract, You gives, you subcontracted. You subcontracted. Correct. Now same query. Whether the receiver can avail the ITC of GST paid of 12 lakh. Can I avail the ITC, whatever invoice you are going to raise? Whether you can avail the ITC of the GST paid of 2 lakh 40. So there are two questions. First, I gave you contract. You subcontracted. So builder is contractor to contractor. There is one contract. You paid GST of 2 lakh 40. There is second contract between you and me. I'm a cost accountant, chartered accountant. Right? So I'm not a builder. So you raised invoice on me. I paid GST of 12 lakh. Two questions. Who can ITC? Who cannot avail ITC? Listen. As 17.5c, GST paid for availing works contract for the construction of immovable properties block. We just now saw. Hence, whatever GST I have paid of 12 lakh rupees to you, I cannot avail the ITC. Because I cannot avail the ITC. I have taken works contract from you. I cannot avail the ITC. But listen, you are a works contractor. And you have also received what, sir? Works contract service, same line of business. Both are works contractor, or both are architect, both are engineer, both are anything, same line of the all building line. So if you have received a works contract service, sir, you both are in same line of business. Hence, you can take the IT. As whatever GST you have paid of 2 lakh 40, sir, you can avail the ITC. So it is same like that catering example. Correct. Works contractor to works contractor, ITC is allowed. Works contractor to any other person, ITC is not allowed. Clear? This is how you need to remember it. Fair enough. Any queries, please post it. No problem at all. I'm constantly seeing it. That's why. Chalo. Now, next problem. Sorry. Listen now. This is very interesting. I give you one exception. Now, second exception. Say I have given you a contract for works contract. To works contract. What? You are required to do repairing of my existing. Again, the repairing word came. Okay, if it is for my business. This time also, you supplied me works contract service. You raised the tax invoice on me of net amount 1 lakh and sir GST of 18,000. Now, this was a routine. Every year this repairing happens. 100 crore building. You are just giving 1 lakh service. So this is a routine expense. Right. So against this invoice, I am not capitalizing 1 lakh. Against this invoice, this 1 lakh, I am debited in my profit and loss account. This 1 lakh rupee net amount I have debited in my profit and loss account. Now I'm asking whether the recipient can avail the ITC of GST paid of 18,000. This time I have not capitalized it. I have debited in my P&L that 1 lakh rupees. Can I take it ITC? Listen, 17.5 clause, see what it says. GST paid for works contract to the extent of capitalization is blocked. Have I capitalized it? I have debited in the profit and loss account. In this case, the receiver has expensed out 1 lakh rupee in P&L account. Profit and loss my balance sheet mein nahi hai. I am not capitalized. Hence, in this case, I can take the input tax. So this is the second exception. So works contract service, if I capitalize the net amount, whatever GST I have paid, I cannot take the ITC. But if I take works contract services and I debit in my profit and loss account, the net amount I debit in my profit and loss account, whatever GST I have paid, I can take the ITC. Clear? So this was certain portion of 17.5. I cannot cover it in entirety, but now we will move to rule 42. Very, very, very confusing at the same time. Very, very interesting point. Okay, let us move to which point? Rule number 2 of the CGST rules. Ye dekho. 17.1 and 17.2. Read with rule 42. Please listen carefully. 17.2. First, understand why this is required. Say Mr. Amir Khan. He purchased raw materials. He is registered in GST. He purchased raw material. He paid GST of 50,000. He availed service. He paid GST of 1,50,000. Correct. Now, by utilizing this, he is supplying taxable goods or he is supplying taxable services. Correct. He collected GST of say 3 lakh. Now listen what is happening. So Mr. Amir, how much GST has collected? 3 lakh. See this? GST of 3 lakh rupees. Less GST is paid on input and input services 50,000 and on input services 1,50,000. So how much GST is going to pay to government? 3 lakh minus 50 minus 1,50,000. So he will pay GST of how much, sir? Rupees 1 lakh. He will pay GST of only rupee 1 lakh. Do you agree? This is no basic understanding. But now listen to second. Listen to second point. Again, same point. Amir is registered in GST. Again, he did the same thing. He purchased raw material. He paid GST of 50,000 rupees. He took services. He paid GST of 1,50,000 rupees. And now he is not supplying taxable goods. He is supplying, sir, exempt goods, exempt service, nil rated, no GST goods or services. See this? No GST. He is supplying exempt goods or exempt services in this case. So he's not going to collect GST. On sale, there is no GST. The government has not received any revenue. Agreed. Now, please listen carefully. Government is saying that Mr. Ahmed, you are supplying exempt nil rate. There is no GST. Government को कुछ पैसा ही नहीं मिल रहा है. So government is not going to earn penny revenue on sales. Therefore, whatever GST you have paid on raw material 50,000, whatever GST you paid on services 1,50,000, that GST will not be allowed as ITC. That is not allowed as ITC. Okay, so please appreciate the fact what government is trying to say here, that on sale, if you collect GST, then only you are allowed as ITC. This is given in 17.2 Rule 42. Okay, so Amir is supplying exempt goods, no GST on sale. That's why whatever GST is paid on purchases service, it will not be allowed as ITC. Clear? Okay, now on this basis, we shall move forward. See, any registered person who is supplying exempt goods or services, nil rated goods or services, non-GST goods or service, non-taxable, in short, is not collecting GST on sale. Correct. Then whatever GST is paid on purchases or services shall not be allowed as ITC. Same thing I've repeated. Kuch naya nahi bola. Okay. On sale, we are not collecting GST. That is not allowing ITC. Now, one case study. Listen. Mr. Amir, registered person, says running school. Are you aware? School fees not taxable. It is exempt. School बच्चे पढ़ोगे 12th standard तक माफ है. So now school fees earned is exempt. So Amir is supplying school services. He has earned revenue of 5 crore rupees, which is exempt in GST. No GST to be earned on school fees. But at the same time, Amir is running classes also. Now classes is not doing any favor. This is a pure business. So classes fees earned is taxable. So the person is earning exempt income also. Person is earning taxable income, say 15 crore. Now listen, say from this supplier, he purchased material ABC. This material is purchased exclusively for school. Means what? This material is purchased for the use of exempt income. GST is paid of 10,000 rupees. Now query number 1. Whether GST paid of 10,000 shall be allowed as ITC to Mr. Amir or not? क्या ये 10,000 का ITC मिला or ITC shall not be allowed? Please listen. GST paid of 10,000 is for school, exclusively for exempt income. Hence this 10,000 shall not be allowed as ITC. So ये तो गया. This ITC won't. Yeah. Now listen. He also purchased, Amir also purchased material PQR exclusively for classes. Classes के लिए. Okay, now this is exclusively used for taxable purpose, taxable income, GST is paid of 25,000. Now, this ITC can be taken, whether GST paid of 25,000, whether that will be allowed as ITC. So answer, listen, now this 25,000 shall be fully allowed as ITC. Why? Because this PQR material is exclusively used for earning taxable. So that shall be fully allowed as ITC. Clear? So understood the difference? If material is purchased exclusively for exempt income, not allowed. Exclusively for taxable income, fully allowed. Yeah, now comes the main point, rule 42. Please, again, same thing. Is running school, exempt income 5 crore, running classes, taxable income 15 crore. If possible, try to give answer, everyone. Please try to give on chat. If not, then obviously I'm there to explain. Now, Mr. Ahmed, he purchased the software. Say for 1 crore plus GST paid is 18 lakh rupees. He purchased the software for 1 crore plus GST paid of 18 lakh. Now, in the same software, he is doing accounting for school student also. So software is used for exam supply also. And the same software is being used for taxable supply also. So the software is being used for exempt income as well as taxable income. You understood the thing? Software is used for taxable as well as exempt supply. Now query comes. I want you people to reply on chat if convenient. Whether Amir can avail entire ITC of 18 lakh. Whether the Amir cannot avail a penny also, entire 18 lakh will be disallowed, or is there a third answer? If you can reply, how much ITC Mr. Amir can take in this case? How much ITC Mr. Amir can take in this case? Very good. No reply. Okay, don't worry. Chalo. Now listen. In this case, since the software is used for exempt supply also, as well as taxable supply also, proportionate ITC shall be allowed. Only proportionate ITC shall be allowed. Proportionate means what? As in the ratio of turnover. In the ratio of turnover, ITC shall be allowed. So this is given in rule. As per rule 42, out of 18 lakh, ITC to be disallowed shall be, how much is the total ITC? 18 lakh into exempt turnover by total turnover. This much ITC shall be disallowed. So out of 18 lakh, what is the exempt turnover? 5 crore. What is the total income of Amir? 5 plus 50, 20 crore. So out of 18 lakh, 4 lakh 50 ITC shall be disallowed. And he shall be eligible for 18 minus 450, 13 lakh 50 ITC shall be allowed. Getting it? So please understand, when you are supplying taxable income as well as when you are supplying exempt income. Very good. 1 or 2 have correctly replied. Third answer, proportionate to his income. Very good. Kalyani, very good. Kalyani ji. Okay. So in this case, when you are supplying exempt income as well as there is taxable income also, you cannot take full ITC. You are required to reverse certain ITC. In which ratio, sir? In the ratio. Okay, so this much ITC you are required to disallow. Fair enough? Okay, now listen next point. Please understand this. One case study I will like to do with you. Just one case study, final case study, but most important one for your exam. Please listen this. Say I'm a registered dealer. I'm supplying textbooks. Textbooks, are you aware it is exempt in GST? 5 crore rupees. And I'm supplying notebooks also. Notebooks is not taxable supply, 20 crore. So this is my outward supply. Correct. Now, say I purchase raw material A. This material A is used only for exclusively for earning exempt income. 5,000. Pura textbooks के लिए use हुआ. I also purchase raw material B. This is used for my personal purpose. This should not be allowed as ITC, right? Non-business purpose. I paid GST of 8,000. I purchased motor car. Motor car, you are already aware, 17.5 block. GST paid is 12,000. I see exclusively for notebooks. This is used exclusively for notebooks. GST paid is 15,000 rupees. Correct. And I purchase raw material. This is used for books also, textbooks also, some personal purpose means non-business as well as business purpose. This raw material is useful for what? Exam supply also, taxable supply also, personal purpose also, non-business means non-business and business purpose also. Now, how to take the ITC? Please listen, this is your exam question. This is not my personal question. Now listen, raw material A. This was used exclusively to earn exempt income. Hence, whatever GST I have paid, it will not be allowed as ITC. This 5,000 ITC is gone, sir. Nahi milega. Correct. Raw material B. This is used for my non-business purpose, not for business purpose. Whatever GST I have paid, ITC shall not be. Non-business. Correct. Now understand. Car, it is blocked under 17.5. Blocked. That means whatever GST I have paid, I will not be allowed ITC. Fair enough. So 3 ITC is gone. Raw material C. This is used only for notebooks means taxable supply. So whatever GST I have paid, it shall be fully allowed, sir. This will be fully allowed. But this is not a common ITC. This is fully allowed. Fair. Now raw material E. This is useful for taxable as well as exempt supply. So this is a common input which is used to earn exempt income also, which is used to earn taxable income also. Fair enough. Hence, this is a common ITC. So your proportionate ITC to be reversed in which ratio, sir? In the ratio of turnover. In the ratio of turnover. So first, how it will be? What is my common ITC? 25,000. Common ITC into exempt turnover divided by total turnover. What is my common ITC, sir? 25,000. What is my exempt turnover? 5 crore. What is my total turnover? 25 crore. 5 plus 20. So out of 25,000, 5,000 ITC shall be disallowed. 5,000 ITC shall be disallowed. Okay. Okay. And listen, one more point, 17.1. See this raw material, read the question carefully. It is used for notebooks, textbook, as well as for non-business purpose. So when a raw material is useful for business and non-business purpose, जो भी आपका common ITC है 25,000 into 5% also you're further required to reverse. Further 5% you are required to reverse, assuming non-business also used. So what is your common ITC? 25,000 into 5%. Further 1250 shall be reversed. Why? Because you used it for your non-business purpose also. So 5% flat you are required to reverse. Okay, in exam it is used for business and non-business. You are required to do this. 5%. Flat reverse karna hi karna. So how much is the ITC in this case? So out of 25,000, 5,000 got reversed as per this law. 1250 also got reversed. So balance 6250 is eligible. 25,000 out of 25,000, 6250 shall be reversed. You can avail only 18,750. Correct. So how much is the total eligible ITC, sir? How much I can take total ITC? Raw material E. How much I can take? 18,750. Plus there was raw material C. There was raw material C, 15,000 exclusively for notebooks. Both I can take. So I can take the ITC of 33,750. So this is an exam question, 4 marks for. It was only 4-mark question for you, but it is very easy. It's not that difficult. Really, I'm saying it's not that difficult. कभी किया नहीं हो बस उसलिए difficult हो सकता. Else it is not difficult. Okay, so this our 17.1 and 17.2. Since it is useful for non-business purpose, further 5% we have reversed it. So please listen this. Listen this 5% point. See this 5% point. Say I'm a registered dealer. I have my office as well as my residence. I'm using raw materials, stones, etc. I'm using it for my personal purpose also. And I'm using it for my business purpose also. Same raw material, etc. is used for business also. I have paid just 50,000. Can I avail entire 50,000, sir? Nahi na, because I've used it for my business purpose also, as well as non-business purpose also. Okay, similar, I've taken services. Now this services, I have already paid GST of 75,000. I'm using this service for my business purpose also. I'm using this service for my home, non-business purpose also. Right, so input service are used for business as well as non-business. Now what government is saying, if you are using any input or input services for business as well as non-business purpose, that is also known as common ITC. So this 1,25,000 is the common ITC. Now out of this common ITC, which is used for business and non-business, out of this common ITC, you are required to flat only 5%. Only 5% you are required to reverse 6250. So see, this is explained in section 17(1). So see, if I am using a taxable and exempt, then in which ratio I am required to reverse? In the ratio of turnover, income. And if I'm using for my office and personal, business and non-business, then flat 5% you are required to reverse it. Okay, shall be reversed. So any registered dealer who is purchasing raw material for business as well as business, or is purchasing services for office as well as non-office, that is also considered as common ITC. That is also considered as common. Now, out of this common ITC, the taxpayer is flat himself required to reverse how many percent? 5%. So this 5% shall be reversed. Okay, so any exam question if you get, आपको दोनों करना है. You are required to reverse that 5% also, and you are also required to reverse as per in the ratio of taxable and exempted. Okay, today I had very limited time, but just one important announcement for you. See, I have my YouTube channel. The channel name is already given, GST and Customs Act Fun Learn. GST and Customs Act Fun Learning. Now, what I have done for all of you, see, all your customs lecture, basic introduction, all your entire duty drawback, etc., baggage, etc., everything is covered in my YouTube channel, recorded one. And I mixed with KBC game so that if you have exams in MCQs, you will be able to answer. And I also mixed through case studies, some funny case studies. Through digital animations, I have taught Customs Act, that if there is flood, how much custom duty I am required to pay. Correct. All through time, try to make funny movie clips. Like say, if I have imported bikes, Ritik has imported bikes, how much custom duty to pay for through movie. Mr. Bahubali has imported costumes, how much import and custom duty to pay, so that you remember. Okay, also mixed your favorite topic, place of supply, and the entire input tax credit. What I was teaching in 1 hour, it's a 10-hour series, 4 lectures are there. Input tax, payment of tax, sums, capital goods, all is covered there. I have few students have requested me, so I uploaded my lectures on YouTube channel. And your Customs Act, Foreign Trade Policy, FTP, that all the lectures are covered. So you can spend 50 easily. If you refer to this 15 lectures around, you can refer, you can get all your marks. So in 1 hour, obviously, I cannot teach everything. So how to offset the input tax credit, that will be shown here. It is recorded. I also covered through case studies and sums. How to do this place of supply, that is also available. Entire Customs Act available, entire foreign trade policy available. So I request all of you, please study. You have 1 month time around, maybe little bit more than that. Please study through the channel and finish it all. Okay. So for today, it was only this much. The time limit given was only 1 hour. I've tried to cover little bit more. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any queries, my mobile number is here. You can see this. You can SMS or you can WhatsApp to me, or you can email to me. That will be more convenient. I will reply your query on email. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you so much, each and everyone. Hope to see you in future again. Goodbye. Take care.